Hello, everyone, and welcome to ROKStudios. I'm Stan Miller. I'm PR and Analyst Relations Manager for Rockwell Automation in the EMEA region. And I'm joined today by Vincenzo Monaco. He is our Country Director for the DACH region for Rockwell. Vincenzo, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Stan, and thank you that I can be here with you.
Vincenzo, today we're here to talk about a very exciting topic, automation, resilience, and the machine lifecycle, emerging priorities for DACH OEMs. Obviously, that region, incredibly important from an OEM perspective. But before we get into it, could you tell us just a little bit about your role in your team so our audience understands?
So, as I said, Vincenzo Monaco. I'm the Country Sales Director for the DACH region and Managing Director for Germany. So we are organized, my team, my sales organization, supporting the OEMs, the machine builders, the end user team, and also we call it territory management, that include system integrator, EPCs, and as well distribution partners.
Perfect. I think that's really good context for our discussion. Vincenzo, first question for you. Over the last few years, what has fundamentally changed in how DACH manufacturers and machine builders justify automation? Are they still pursuing speed, or has the emphasis moved toward things like resilience, flexibility, and life cycle performance?
So speed is always very important, because speed is also part of the output of product that helps the end user to reduce and have faster ROI, return of investment. But what we see in the last a couple of years, that we had some change, that sometimes it's better to have a little bit less speed in output, but saving the time to change something in the machine. And with our, let's say, new software capabilities and support what we are giving to our machine builders and end user, we reduce the downtime. And this is what we're just seeing that's reflecting and changing for the last years, because the last years the end user had to stop the machine, a person has to go to the line and change something, and we talk about a couple of hours here. And as you know, every minute costs money, and this is why it's very important to help the end user and OEMs to have faster, more efficient machines, and helping to reduce the downtime time at the machines.
Absolutely. Reducing downtime, always critical. Vincenzo, where do you see AI and data delivering practical value today on packaging or production lines? Specifically, what kinds of decisions are increasingly being made by systems that previously may have required human intervention?
Yeah, just for an example, in the past, for example, if I'm filling a bottle of water, as an example, and if I see that the volume of water was not on the right level, so a person have to go and interface the machine to change something, if it's mechanical or software or sensors. So today, with as an example, with our vision AI, so you have vision systems that detect the level of water, maybe also detect like labels if you are not putting accurate on the bottle of water. And we have a special algorithm that we call it machine learning, that checking and seeing how the material flow is, and they will adapt the material flow, maybe also the motion profile, and this helping them to have no stop of lines, so it will be done automatically, and in the end you have better quality of a product. And also, in addition, we are looking also to reduce energy consumption. That is very important for sustainability point of view. And this is all packed in AI function as an example. This is only one example what we have, but AI and data can help a lot in the complete life cycle of machines.
It's a great example, and when you see that technology in action, you can immediately see the impact and the benefits. Vincenzo, OEMs are facing engineering bottlenecks and tighter delivery times. Sometimes commissioning is often where some complexity can come about, right? What trends are you seeing in DACH around standardizing machine data and designing secure connectivity from the start so commissioning and startup can be more predictable?
So here also we're using the new trends and capability that we offer also, like digital twin as an example. So with digital twin of a machine or also lines, reducing your engineering time, and also in the phase of, as an example, if you offer your line machine to your customer, you can showcase machine, you can simulate or emulate the machine, and you immediately see if something impacting the production, and you can easily change it before you starting to engineer to build up a machine. That costs a lot of time and reducing a lot of costs, because in the past you had to build up a machine, you had to run tests, yeah, and then you had to go back and change something. Yeah. But also with AI functionality, so you're absorbing a lot of data from machines. And what is very important, that we are also supporting here a lot the machine builder and end user, that we put a layer of cybersecurity check, because as soon you open, you need a cybersecurity functionality that help you to have a secure production and machine.
That's great, Vincenzo. We've been talking to a variety of OEMs in the studio recently, and some of those trends that you just hit on, particularly with the use of digital twin and some of the outcomes that that's driving. Great context. Vincenzo, with skilled labor constraints and increasing system complexity, how are OEMs redesigning the human-machine interface and support model to empower that workforce?
Yeah, this is a very challenging part here, because not only our OEMs, also we self as Rockwell, it's a challenge to find high-skilled people and very fast. And here the machine builder, also end user, depends also which country you are, where the machine is sitting. So how we help them is to build up as well an AI function, yeah, that we can guide, as example, the operation person or the service person to show them how to change something or how to adapt something with a guideline, very simple and very fast here, that just changing step by step, confirm it, and we take it and we're building this as an AI function. I always make the example, if you have an app in your mobile phone, you're satisfied by 90%, the last 10%, you would love and like it to have it a different way. And this is our job with the OEMs and the end user to understand what is your demand, what you need, and we are helping him to adapt and modify the AI function, especially for this function for OEMs and end user, that you don't see any gaps in the future to do this kind of service or change at the machines.
That's great. And what I really like about what you just shared is that it really circles back to Rockwell's vision of expanding human possibility.
Absolutely.
With the use of technology.
Right, yes.
Vincenzo, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. It's a great pleasure. Can't wait for the next time we get the chance to chat. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Stan.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about industrial automation and digital transformation, visit rockwellautomation.com.